It's time.
Yeah, dude, we got to go. Eve and I were invited by Warner Brothers about 4 weeks ago now, to see Dune in a theater at Warner Brothers, and what I saw was cinema history, man. It was one of the best films I've ever seen in my life. Brilliant book, and I've always loved it. It's one of my favorite pieces of not just like sci-fi and genre literature, but just literature. I mean, 20th century American literature. It's a brilliant piece of writing. And
when did you first read it?
About maybe like 20 years ago.
Holy
and I've read
crap.
it three times now. I read it after Denis invited me to be in his film. I went again and reread it from a totally different perspective. And I'm also a different person than I was at 20. You know, you get into the complexities of adulthood and life, and you wrestle with the things that we wrestle with. And one of the things that's so masterful about the way that Herbert writes the book, and I think you'll find this interesting, is he doesn't write a scene from just the perspective of one character or the point of view of one of the characters' kind of views of things. He has a way of giving you a 360-degree view of the different characters' psychologies and involvements and interactions with other characters. And Denis is the perfect person to tell that story cinematically, because that's what he does. He never presents you with a character and goes, this is Patrick. He's a happy, funny guy from Chicago. He's going to give you the whole perspective.
So let's talk about Denis Villeneuve as directors. If you can just say one word to describe each of them, what would that word be, and why would you choose that word?
Denis is a genius. He's a very special kind of genius. He's a poet. He is a true artist. He is someone that is a enigma to me, because he can take me in a microsecond, or any audience that chooses to open themselves up to his storytelling in a microsecond. He can take you into the most difficult parts of being a human being, the darkest, scariest, most horrifying parts of our existence, and bring you through it to the other side, because he does that with his story. I mean, his stories are dark, right? I mean, you think about the journeys he's taken us on. Bring you to the other side, still believing in love, still believing in humanity. And while he's doing that, and me being there with him on set, I know he is truly one of the kindest and most loving and most generous and most gentle people I've ever met.
All right. Between 2008 through 2012, your early days, you acted in 9 short films, including one that you wrote. What do you think you learned as a film actor through the process of doing that many characters in that short a time frame?
I learned so much, and not just as an actor. Making those short films where you have no budget, there's no, there's so many roles that need to be filled, and so I learned the ins and outs of film mostly on those short films, and also when I was working on TV commercials. So I highly recommend anybody who is going to watch or read, if you print this interview, but who's going to watch our conversation, that like, if you want to get into this craft and you love filmmaking, short films really teach you the importance of beginning, middle, and end. A great short film is like a good joke. It has a setup and it has a punchline. It needs to be, usually I'd say, no longer than 10 minutes, unless you've got a masterpiece, 15. And what you want to do is, as I expand my writing and my development in film, I learned that I started looking at my films like a series of short films. And each one of those needed to have a beginning, a middle, and end, a good setup and a good punchline. And I learned about production design. I learned about craft services. I learned about lighting. I learned about the power and importance of continuity and having a good script supervisor. I learned so much from short films because they are the best way to do it.
So what is more challenging to you, delivering a complex character on stage or feeling big enough for a $200 million blockbuster?
It's all the same, Patrick. It is. It's the same. The difference is your proximity to the camera and the audience. So it's all technical to me. It would be a fool's mission, Aaron thought, for me to consider playing Abner Krill in The Suicide Squad and to approach that any differently than I would to be playing Tom Wingfield in The Glass Menagerie at Shattered Globe Theater in Chicago. If I look at one as, oh, well, this is a big blockbuster movie, I need to make bigger choices or do like, I think that I need to do what I know how to do best, which is use the skills that I've developed and I'm continuing to develop and I'm continuing to learn how to act. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface.
It's lifelong.
It is. And that's no bullshit. That is real deal stuff. Like, as soon as I think I've got stuff figured out as an actor, it's when I am dead in the water and when my choices get boring. When I continue to jump and take risks and push myself into places, and when you have a director like James or a Denis, you know, they encourage that, then it's the way it should be. So it is the same. The only difference to me is learning and understanding, and it's taken me a lot of time, and I'm still working on it. The difference of communicating, say, to you, here's the camera is right here for me. So if I was acting right now and having to perform, understanding how much manipulation I need to do with my face and my eyes for this, which is so close, like you can really get a lot of story from just no facial movement. Like my eyes could do a lot for you. If we were at the Victory Gardens Theater right now and you were doing a press junket and you were in the 10th row, or if I was performing for you, if I was doing, you know, Sam Shepard for you, there is different stuff I have to do with my face and my eyes and my voice, but that's it.
Yeah.
All the other stuff is exactly the same. I look at building the Abner Krill character the exact same way I looked at building Vince for Sam Shepard's Barry Child, the same way I look at building the Tennessee Williams character. I have to. It is the way it works for me. I fucking love it.
You're crazy beautiful, man. This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2021.